and we'll just start through the presentation. So at this point of stage, we just have to be as positive as possible. So students usually at this stage, they panic, they think about a lot, they overthink that what if things don't go our ways. But it's all about positivity at this point of time. So you just have to be as positive as possible and be confident that whatever you have learned and whatever you have gone through in the 3 months or 5 months, whichever exams you are giving, you have to be confident. That's that. Then so now 7 days are remaining for the final exams if we take CA final into consideration. So then two papers are remaining, SFM and FR, if you go in the reverse order. So SFM, you should go, there are three options that we have given you guys. 2 days of SFM is one thing that can be done, and 5 days of FR. Then 3 days of SFM with 4 days of FR. And another option is either option 1 or 2, and you can do one hour of audit every day. So we'll just go briefly into the three options that are there. So during SFM, it is actually divided into two parts. 20 marks are for theory and 80 marks are for practical. So people who believe their strength is in theory, they should at least aim at least 16 out of 20 in the theory of SFM. And people who think their practical is more better than the theory, so then they should try to get out of 80. You can easily get 60 out of 80 in SFM, because if you look at the past trends of ICAI, July 21 attempt and November 21 attempt both had very, quite comparatively easy papers that were there in SFM. So getting an exemption in SFM is not quite a big rocket science, and everyone gets it. You should also aim for that. Then you should also focus on paper writing and sums writing. So if you look at a sum, because recently in the ICM module, very new sums have been added. So you should be very thorough with them. So if you look at any questions, so you should always have your solutions in your mind. So because ICI has their working in stepwise, they award marks in stepwise marking. So every steps they will give you half mark, 1 mark, 2 marks, and the final answer will have 2 marks. So it is not about the final answer which will fetch you whole marks. You have to write it on a step-by-step basis. So practical subjects, step-by-step marking is very important. And if you've gone through some answer sheets of any previous people, so there also you can see that ICI gives marks in stepwise marking. So stepwise marking is a must. Then even for SFM, in theory, there are like two main topics that are there. So one is securitization and another is startups. So those two chapters, everyone knows one question has to come. So you should be very thorough with those chapters, because if you are good with them, you will easily secure 10 to 12 marks in theory of SFM. So that is another point. In practical of SFM, there are only 8 to 10 chapters. So we are very sure that at least one question will come from one chapter. So we have to make sure that we know all types of questions from all types of chapters, because the portion is not that vast, but the variety of sums are there. So you should just write down small adjustments which each type of question caters to. So if there's another, if there are 5 types of sums, but only one thing is different in those 5 types of sums, so you should write the things that are different. So that will save your time in the last 7 days. Coming to FR, it is your first paper. So you have to have a very good start for the later papers to follow. So you can either allot 5 days to FR or 4 days to FR, depending upon what time and target what you have set for yourselves. And because people even set 6 days for FR, but I think there a little slack of time comes in. So I think you should keep either 5 or 4 depending upon your capability and grasping power for FR, because you have done FR at least 2 times before, and now you're doing it for the 3rd time minimum. So 5 or 4 days, whatever suits you, that can be done. The option 3 is one of my friends suggested me, that either you can do option 1 or option 2 based on your liking and suitability. And and people fear audit a lot because it is a theory subject, and there are so many chapters, essays, other chapters, other audits, special audit, and those stuff. So completing audit in 1.5 days is a very huge task for students. And so the third option suggests that you can do 1 hour of audit every day in the last 7 days, except the last day, because the last day you have to do FR and FR only. So that is there. And also writing practice is a must in the last 7 days, because you have given papers, mocks, RTPs, everything in the last 4-5 months. But if you don't keep the hang of writing in the last 7 days, that can hamper the main exams that are coming for 15 days. So that is one thing that you should make sure. Just keep writing, keep scribbling in roughly. Also you can solve the questions, that is not an issue, but you should just keep your hand grip on writing. So these are the 3 options for the final 7 days that we've given. Nextly, on the FR day, the final exam, so getting an adequate sleep is very important, because 3-4 hours of sleep, people are actually they feel sleepy in their exam only. So you should have at least 6-7 hours of sleep on before the exam day, because you're not sleeping for the one day that before the FR exam, you are sleeping for 15 days, because those 15 days you will not get enough sleep. So you should have a very good sleep before you start the journey of the 15 days, because once those 15 days start, trust me, you will not get sleep at all, depending upon the papers that are coming in. So please get adequate sleep, and that will also help to get your mind freshen up on the next day. So you'll be able to revise the important indices that are there in FR. So Ind AS 109, for example, business combination, share-based payment. These are some indices which are guaranteed to have a question in the paper. So you should quickly go through them before the FR day. Then reaching the exam center on time is a very important thing, as Preeti ma'am said. Okay, it's a new center, so, and it's the first day, so you should actually leave at least 1 hour before the exam time, and you should be there at least 15 minutes before the reading time starts. At least 15 minutes, because it's your first day. You should settle down, let your nerves calm down. You should drink water, because the heat outside is too much, so you should always drink water. And just be in your zone, that when the paper comes, and you can utilize the 15 minutes at the very best. So that is there. The last point is, how do you manage your time in FR? So we have seen that FR is the lengthiest paper out of the 8 papers. So managing your time in FR becomes a challenge for students. So you should actually, the first question that is compulsory, you should actually not read it during the 15 minutes, because that you have to do it. You should first be eliminating the question that you absolutely don't know, you have no idea about. So you are very sure that you're not going to, do the question. Then you should revise, you should know the order of attempting the question. So if you are very thorough with question 3, then you should do question 3. There is no format, there is no order in doing questions. You don't have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do 3, 4 in any given order, but you should always attempt the best question first, because that is the one which will give you confidence. And once your confidence goes up, the other questions automatically flow in, and you automatically build the pace along with the things that the questions that they've asked. So this is the journey of 7 days. I think Parth shall continue, and this is something that we've given, that you have to be ready for the war that is coming, and you have to come out victorious. The 15 days journey will be one heck of a roller coaster ride, but you should be always ready for it. So I think the preparations that you have done in the 3-5 months will always be will make you ready for the ultimate game, the war that is coming. So all the very best to you guys.